So good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name is Nick Bryant, and I'm really pleased to be joined this morning by Gemma Farina from GFHR Consulting.
Hi,
Gemma.
Nick.
How are you? All right?
Yeah, all right, thanks. Yeah.
Good. Thanks for coming in. So GFHR Consulting, you're an independent human resources consultancy. Been going for 15 years.
Yeah.
Finalist in 3 categories for the Kent Women in Business Awards.
Yeah.
I was here earlier. I opened up the Tunbridge Wells Business Magazine, and there's a full-page feature on you about your 15 years. So it's going pretty well at the moment. So
it's going pretty well, yeah, really good. It was great to be recognised as well as Tunbridge Wells Business Person of the Year at the end of last year as well. Lots going on at the moment.
There is, isn't there? Let's 15 years, amazing. But let's go right back and see how you got to the beginning of that 15 years. Just give us a bit of your background.
Yeah, of course. So, back in the day, I wanted to become a police officer, and then when I was at university, I thought, oh no, do I want shift work? Do I want to be walking the beat on a regular basis? And I thought it's not for me. But ultimately, I still had that interest in people, so found myself following the path of human resources, and through a couple of roles, one being in retail, where I think I really cut my teeth on employee relations issues and store management. So through doing HR for retail organisations, and then latterly for Grosvenor, the Duke of Westminster's property company. Wow. I then took maternity leave and then went, how do I do commuting to London and having a small child? And someone said to me, why don't you set up on your own? And I kind of thought, can I possibly do that? And they said to me, well, what have you got to lose? So I said, well, okay, why not? So I started up, and that was sort of first networking events, first foray into, doing direct mail marketing and sending out letters and all of those sorts of hideous things that I did once and swore I'd never do again. Yeah. And then gradually the business grew. Within a couple of months, I sort of went, is this really for me? Looked for a part-time HR manager job locally. And then kind of in the same week, I was offered a second interview for the job. Got my first piece of work as an HR consultant. Nice. And found out I was pregnant with daughter number 2. Oh, right. So decided to keep going down the path, and it's gradually grown over that time, and 15 years later, I'm still here, still going.
Yeah, well, good for you. Yeah, because I mean, some people struggle with 15 minutes, let alone 15 years. That's really good. We were saying earlier, because I sort of stumbled across you at an expo about 2 or 3 years ago, and before then, I sort of were aware of you, but you seem to have sort of suddenly sort of come into the light with local businesses, and you put a lot of that down to COVID. Actually, it being a blessing in disguise, because people needed HR. Furlough was unheard of. Yeah,
I think it shifted the way I worked, both from a personal perspective, because up until COVID, I was kind of sole person that looking after our kids, so kind of had the time during the day when the kids were at school, and that was it. The evenings were out, and early morning networking was challenging. And then COVID, my husband started working from home, so we had a bit more flexibility. I think it shifted how we were working, so more was going on Teams as opposed to spending time kind of travelling and visiting clients in that way. And then plus, as you say, suddenly everyone needed HR. Employee wellbeing really came to the forefront, trying to interpret whatever the latest thing that the government was saying on the COVID rules at the time. Furlough was a typical one where, some clients kind of had short-term working contracts and they were okay. Those that didn't needed furlough. So it really sort of elevated HR, and I think from there we've been able to grow. I've taken on new associates, and I think particularly the last 12, 18 months, there's been a real focus from my point of view, I guess, on growing the business. Yeah. I'm really passionate about what we do. The more businesses I talk to, the more I kind of want to know more and speak to more people and support more local businesses. So that's kind of where that growth has come from.
Yeah, because you are a people person,
absolutely,
as you mentioned. So there's a new website out, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a new website, that's out with new branding. So that's the big thing, I think, is saying goodbye to the branding of the last 15 years, and we've got new branding that really represents, I think, how we stand out as a company. I think that was the other thing that came from COVID, was we sort of identified exactly the type of businesses we wanted to be and our messaging as a company, in terms of working with businesses that really value their employees, want to grow, are looking to grow, need that support, where we can work with them in a proactive way, as opposed to always being the problem solvers. Very happy to problem solve, but in my mind, I think if you can have honest communication and get ahead of the problems and be proactive, then build those relationships, then that goes a long way. And I think the new branding represents that kind of focus around us, hopefully being seen as approachable.
Getting things right from the beginning.
Getting things right, doing the right thing. Quite often people will say to me, well, you're HR, you're paid by the business, so, are you really on my side? And yes, that is true. The business pays our bills, but ultimately the whole ethos of the HR profession is and should be, in my mind, about equity and fairness. So we walk with that balance, and we have to take that balance between what's right for employees and what's right for the business.
There's some words on your website that I really like, which sort of encapsulates what you just said, which is your people are at the heart of your business. They're the ones driving your vision forward, and investing in them will ultimately mean success for you. So putting the right HR practice in place is crucial for that all to come together, isn't it?
Absolutely, The people in your business are, if they're motivated, if they're engaged, if they understand their purpose. I think all of us at work, at home, need to know what our purpose is, and I think having that from work is really important. So demonstrating to people, yes, we want you here, we need you here, you make a difference. If you invest in your people, you're going to get the best from them. Absolutely.
What do you put down the reason for your success? I put you on the spot there, because I didn't say I was going to ask you that.
No, you didn't.
But 15 years is a long time, and it's a testament to you for getting something right, or more than one thing right.
I think it's probably a couple of things. I think it's partly growing organically, which I've had to do because there's only so much I can time in the day when you've got 2 young children to invest in a business. So I think that's part of it. And I think the other thing is I've never shied away from doing the right thing, and I have always demonstrated my passion to people, and I think I've always wanted to come across, and hope I come across, as approachable. I don't take myself too seriously. I want people to feel that they have a safe space when they come and speak to me, and that there is no judgment. They can say what they think, they can say how they feel, and not worry about saying the wrong thing or me being offended. Sometimes in HR you hear some quite harsh things, and some quite challenging language at times, and you can't be offended by it. You have to just roll with it. So I hope that is what people feel when they
less intimidating. I think because if you're working for a reasonably big firm and there are a lot of processes in place, and you're an employee, maybe at a low level, and you get asked to go and see the HR department, you might think, God, what have I done, or what's happening here? It's scary, isn't it? And if you can ease that pain or that worry to a member of staff, then that's good, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think that still does exist, unfortunately, but I'd like to work hard, or I try to work hard to change that. And when we're working with our clients, we are looking at ways that we can build those relationships with the employees as well. We want to be seen as a part of the business. We want to be seen as visible and accessible. So that for me is really important.
Yeah.
To build that trust.
Yeah. Can we go through your services, what you actually offer?
Yeah. So we offer a full employee life cycle range of services, from recruitment, onboarding, disciplinary and grievance, performance management, redundancy, restructures.
Right, everything.
Everything, exit interviews, absence management, the full works. But I guess the way we do that is through our packages and our service stack. So what I've always wanted to achieve is having a service that is flexible and bespoke to the individual client that we're working with.
Yeah.
There is no two organisations, there's no two people, there's no two organisations that are the same. And people have a different appetite for HR, people have a different capability for HR.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important that we have something that we can flex according to business needs. Yeah. And our new packages that we've got are about that being transparent, so that our clients can see what the service is that they're getting. They're proactive, so we're kind of having that contact with our clients and building those relationships.
Yep.
And across those packages, we deliver all of those services.
Okay, right. I quite like the bit that you can go in and interview staff for businesses, because interviewing skills is something that, if you're a tradesman, for instance, and you've got a big team, you're not going to possibly not be a great interviewer.
Yeah.
So bringing those skills in, that's really valuable.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that people are always really surprised when I say we do, actually.
Yeah.
Because I like to think of us as if you had HR in a large corporate, or when you have HR in a large corporate, those are the people you go to when you have a recruitment need, and they kind of take it on for you. I think as a small business, if you've identified that you have a recruitment need, there's a requirement in your business. You have a resource need, so probably you don't then have the time to then go and find that person and find the right person. Recruitment is a very time-consuming process sometimes, and to get it right, to follow all the right processes, to make sure that you are legally compliant, we can support with that. And then I think, as a business owner, if you are on your own interviewing, that can feel quite daunting. Because it's quite difficult to listen to what someone's saying, ask the questions, and read body language and take notes of interviews. So having someone that can sit alongside you and support with that is I think really valuable.
And go through CVs as well, is that?
Yeah,
that's a massive part of it, because you get bombarded. People do, don't they?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay,
So that can be quite time consuming again, and because we're doing it a lot of the time, we know what to look for and what stands out. And because we know our clients well, or if we do recruitment on a project basis, we get to know our clients and what they're looking for. So actually, it becomes a much quicker process for us.
Streamline it a lot different, isn't it? Now, you also do a quarterly webinar, you mentioned.
Yes.
Tell us about that. So
we run quarterly webinars for our clients. So we had the first one of this year in February, and we were looking at managing absence in the workplace.
Okay.
We had really good attendance from our clients, and everyone found it really interesting, really engaging. Good questions. Obviously, there's a bit of debate at the moment about what the proposed changes are by the Labour government, but it was really good to be able to do that, and we're looking at topics that we can do. I think the next one's June time, and then later in the year.
Will they be available afterwards for people to listen to?
Yeah, we've got the recordings, so if people are unable to attend, then we send the recordings out.
Okay, and that is available just to your clients or to anyone, or are you looking for a bigger audience for that? Or?
Generally, it's available to our clients because we want it to be part of that proactive added value service. We do things that are wider. So we ran a webinar at the end of last year on menopause in the workplace, and that was something that we made available to a wider audience. And we've done ones previously on mental health, but the quarterly webinars, the focus is really on giving our clients that opportunity to learn about something and have that little bit of training.
Right, okay. What's it like winning all these awards?
I won the Tunbridge Wells Business Person of the Year,
Yeah.
so that was amazing.
Yeah.
I was really surprised by that. Being a finalist in them is incredible. So yeah,
Good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good PR and it's all good for the business.
yeah.
And going through those services that you mentioned, you also talked to me earlier about the flexibility that businesses need, because not every business is the same.
Yeah.
And offering that service, is that a challenge for you going into business and see, because it's going to be different from the previous business you work with? You've got to go through all their procedures and see how they're doing things, take it to pieces a bit, or?
Yeah, there is a bit of that,
Yeah.
but I think because every industry has their individual nuances, and I think that's what I really enjoy working within the area that we do, is HR applies to every business and every organisation, and we have a really wide-ranging client service database. And I think that's, for those clients, yes, there is an element of understanding particular things for that business, what are the particular challenges, but
Yeah.
generally when you're looking at a small business, policies and procedures will be pretty much the same
yeah.
throughout, and it's just then tweaking that. But we have a process that we go through to get that information, understand what they're currently doing, understand their goals, where they want to get to, and we take them through that process. And then I guess that's where the packages come in. So you can have a retained service with us where we're there and we're giving you that support on a regular basis. But if there are issues that you need support with, you've got a disciplinary issue, or there's a recruitment project, something that falls within what we would class as a project piece of work, maybe some training, then you would have the ability to flex that up without that being a long-term service cost.
Right, okay. Okay, and niches? I mean, you mentioned earlier you now know which sort of businesses you want to work with. Can we talk about who they are?
Yeah, it's not sector specific,
Okay.
I would say. It's more about the values of the businesses that we're working with. So it is about those businesses that are looking to really, they value the people that work there, and they're looking to then grow from that.
Okay.
And ultimately it's doing the right thing.
Because it's searching out those businesses that actually see those values, isn't
Yes,
it?
yeah.
Because all businesses are different, and some, and they're all good, but some probably don't feel that it's such of an importance to look after the staff as others.
Yeah, absolutely. So, those businesses that focus on the employee wellbeing, or perhaps looking to do things like engagement surveys, are really. Or looking at employee benefits, they're all clients that we look to work with. Yeah. And it really does come from kind of the culture of the business, but it's not sector specific.
No.
At the moment we work with IT providers, law firms, events venues, hairdressers. It's really wide ranging.
Right, okay. Or size either, doesn't matter.
Size is interesting, actually, because we've got businesses that we work with, one of whom is in a massive period of growth and looking to grow to sort of 200 plus employees.
Wow.
So that's a really exciting business to be working for. And then we've got others that we're 100 employees and we're on site giving our support on a week-to-week basis. But equally, we've got other businesses that are sort of 10 to 15 employees where we're doing the same service. So we're on site each week and we're having that relationship with them.
Isn't it?
Equally important. And it just, for that particular business, it's about them having that person that they can build a relationship with, that they can go to, relieve some pressure for the MD, because HR can be time consuming. People do have a lot of issues and it can take time.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that you had a phone call from someone that you used to sort of network with before COVID, who just remembered you and wanted to use it because you were a very personable person. Was that? Tell us that story.
So I had an email just yesterday afternoon, actually, when someone sent me an email just saying, "Hi Gemma, as my favourite HR person, do you have time for a 15-minute call today?" I called him and had a chat with him, talked to him about his issue. And he said, the reason I enjoy, or I always come to you when I have an HR need or a HR question, is because you talk my language, you're down to earth, and you tell me straight. And you talk in words and phrases that make sense to me. It's
Then that is one of the reasons why you succeeded.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think people just want to be spoken to like them, not like you're above them or below them or fancy jargon or anything like that, which is confusing and bamboozling to some businesses that maybe feel inferior. Yeah. And I think if you make them feel that way, then they don't want to work with you. No. So that must be one of the reasons.
Hopefully, yeah.
Is that one of the things you enjoy about it the most, the people side?
Oh, absolutely. I enjoy talking to all sorts of people. Everyone's got an interesting story to tell. Everyone's got a different perspective. And I think that's something that I've really come to learn over the time that I've been running a business. And there are huge similarities between everyone's business story, but there are equally massive differences, and we can all learn something from someone, whoever we talk to, every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's what I really, really enjoy. And I think because I've been going for 15 years, there's also an element of I get it. I understand. And if I haven't been through it, I know someone who has, so I have a relatable experience or something that might help that individual with that particular challenge.
Yeah, that's really valuable. If there's something comes up, it's quite likely that you've come across something similar or the same previously and seen the outcome or whatever. So.
Yeah, or through networking, I know someone who has and can kind of put you in touch with that person.
You do a lot of networking in Tunbridge Wells and around the areas?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think
works, doesn't it?
It does work. Yeah, I think it's sort of grown my business over the years, and I even those events that you think, oh God, why did I bother coming to this? Actually, even those events are still worthwhile. And sometimes it takes a bit of effort when you've had a long day and you think, oh, going again, and you kind of put your game face on. But it's important to be seen. It's important to be seen. It's important to go out and meet people, and
Well, you'll be exhibiting at the Tunbridge Wells Business Show, so thank you very much for that.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be great, which is in November the 11th. That's another story, but thanks, Gemma. I mean, if anyone out there has got any sort of issues with HR or need any advice or any support or any help, they can just pick the phone up to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just give us a call or drop us an email, and if it's not me, it'll be one of the team that will be able to help.
Yeah. Okay. So anyone out there needs any HR help, please get in touch. I'll put the details to Gemma's website all underneath. GFHR. Is it consulting.co?
It's gfhr.co.uk.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's nice and easy.
Really simple.
Yeah. Nice short one. I'll put that below so you can get in touch with Gemma if you need to. Thanks again. Lovely to see you, Gemma. Thanks for coming in.
All right.
And we'll see you all for another podcast soon.
Thanks so much.